The Hockey Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog has got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code HGP. Hello and welcome to this player props edition of the Hockey Gambling Podcast. I am your host, Ryan Gilbert, riding solo here once again for this player prop show for the 9-game slate on Thursday, November 6th. If you're looking for our full show, I had ran through tonight's games with Archer on a Wednesday afternoon. Take a look at that. Got some puck buck bets. Also went through an awards watch there, so some futures talk in that one as well. So make sure you check that one out. But we got another big slate here on a Thursday. I did this on Tuesday. Figure I'd come back here and do it again on the Thursday. We have 9 games, as I said. So, quite a few picks for each of them. I haven't really whittled them down. So we're just going to talk through them here on the podcast. Make sure you join us here on YouTube at Hockey Gambling Podcast in the chat. If you're in the chat, let me know if you have any bets you might be on for tonight, any player props, any things you want me to look at or analyze. I will happily do that as I walk through game by game. Probably touch on Friday's 4-game slate as well, just to give some early looks into that one. But yeah, make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. And if you're trying to get involved with the Hockey Gambling Podcast, reach out to us on Twitter at Hockey SGPN, or you can reach out to myself at rgilbertsop. Yes, let's just get right into things here. Let me pull up, share my screen of the Minnesota Wild at the Carolina Hurricanes as this first game here on DraftKings. And I think there's quite a few picks here I like in this spot here. I did mention it on yesterday's show with Archer, but as long as that Minnesota Wild top line is going to be Rossi with Kirill Kaprizov and Marcus Johansson, I'm taking Johansson to get a point every time. He is down here at plus 145 to get a point. He's been pretty hot for the Wild there on that top line. Had that weird overtime goal against Nashville. He scored a goal without even having a shot on goal in the game. But that was a 6-game point streak for him. Also had an assist in that game, up to 12 points in 14 games this season. So I really like him to get 1 point there at plus 145. 6 goals, 6 assists. So you can go either way if you want to. But I think the point just at that plus 145 number is a pretty good way to play Johansson here. His shots on goal might be worth a look. Prior to last game, he had 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, and 4 in his previous 6 games there. So you can get him to have 2 shots on goal down here at plus money as well, plus 105. And yeah, last game, only 1 shot attempt, but 6, 5, and 6 before that. So he may be able to get some pucks on net there with Rossi and Kaprizov feeding him there on that top line. And yeah, also going to look at Marco Rossi for a point on that top line center. He's still in trade rumors for some reason, but he's really proven himself on the top line. He is even money to get a point. And so far this season, Rossi has 12 points in 13 games. Had his point streak end last game. He had a 5-game point streak prior to that, with 10 points or 8 points in that span, 2 multi-point games, 9 assists and 3 goals. So if you want to shoot your shot and, take him to have an assist rather than just a point, you can get that at plus 170. But, he's capable of scoring a goal. He scored against Vancouver, against the Sharks. Now at Carolina might be a little bit harder. Keandre Miller was activated off IR earlier today, but I still think if the Wild do anything at all, it's going to be that top line getting it done. So Johansson and Rossi props there. Nothing really yet on the Hurricanes. Not really sure how to attack them just yet. So I'm just going to go with those 2 top guys on the Wild there. All right, let's go now to the Blues at the Sabres. Blues played last night. Horrible loss in Washington. Ovi got his 900th goal there. Jordan Kyrou is going to be a healthy scratch tonight. Apparently, the Blues did a full practice today, despite having a back-to-back set here. So, maybe they'll come out motivated, but they might just come out tired as well. But I'm going to go with, on the Blues side of things, Robert Thomas to get an assist. You can get him at around -120, -113 here on FanDuel. -150, it says here on DraftKings, which is way too high. You can get him over an assist rather than 1+ at -120. So once again, shop around on these. Just scroll down, save yourself 30 cents. He did not have a point last night. That also ended a point streak for him, 4-game point and assist streak. Still has 6 assists in 10 games this season. That tends to be how he does his damage for the Blues. Also going to be looking at Pius Suter, their free agent addition. He has 9 points in 14 games. He is +135 to get a point for the Sabres, or for the Blues against the Sabres on Thursday night. Yeah, down there at Pius Suter +130. If you get over a point down here, it's going to be +135. Also could get a sneaky assist play. He's +270 on DraftKings for an assist. He's +320 on FanDuel for an assist, and 4 assists in 14 games this season, 3 of which came in his last 5 games. So could be a sneaky 3-1 play there for Pius Suter to get an assist for the Blues tonight. And then on the Sabres side of thing, going back to Tage Thompson, I took his shots on goal on Tuesday. I mentioned it. He was on a great streak of 5-5-5, 6-7-4 shots on goal, double-digit shot attempts in 4 of those games. And then against Utah on Thursday, just 1 shot on goal on 3 attempts. But I think he will rarely have that few attempts in a game, and going against a Blues team that is tired, very tired after a loss to the Washington Capitals, and then that regular practice this morning. I think a good shots on goal ladder could be a way to look. 4+ shots on goal, -125, 5+ at +170. He's done that quite a few times this season. 5 of his past 10, all in his past 7 games. He had 5 in a row before his last 2 games. So Blues can give up a lot of shots on goal, and Tage Thompson against his former team, some people may forget, should be looking to be pretty hungry there. All right, before we move farther, make sure you check out the college experience. College basketball has tipped off this week, so subscribe to the college experience to catch their daily podcasts and download the SGPN app for free college basketball picks. Okay, let's go here to Montreal Canadiens at the New Jersey Devils. This should be a pretty good matchup here. Canadiens are a high-scoring team. Devils have some players that can put the puck in the net as well. I'm going to start on the Canadian side, though. Nick Suzuki has just been a great guy there for the Canadiens. I'm taking him to get an assist at -140, -130 around there. If you shop around, didn't have an assist last game, but did have a goal. Now has 19 points, 16 assists in 13 games this season. Has recorded an assist in 9 of 13 games. 3 other games he had a goal without an assist. So a point in 12 of 13 games as well. If you just want to play it safe with a Suzuki point, that's -255. That's a bit too safe, but 2 points +190. He's done that in 5 of 13 games this season, so could be a good look there if you think it's going to be a high scoring game there for Suzuki. Also going to go with Yuri Slafkovsky to get a point. That's a better price there at -110 for the Canadiens winger. He had a point against the Flyers on Tuesday. 4-game point streak now, 8 points in 13 games after a slow start. He had 1 point in his first 5 games. So since then, 7 points in his last 8 games. So I like him to get a point there. And then also possibly a power play point. Power play point for Slafkovsky is at 3-1. I believe he is on their top power play unit. Let me just double check that. Yeah, him, Suzuki, Demidov, Caulfield, and Hudson. So 3-1 for him to get a power play point. He's done that in 4 straight games. I think that's a good look there as well. And of course, you got to go Lane Hudson to get an assist. Lane Hudson for an assist is minus 135 here at DraftKings, but minus 125 at FanDuel is the way I'm going to look. He has 12 assists in 13 games this season. Had 2 assists against the Flyers on Tuesday. Has an assist in what's that? 7 straight games and 10 of his last 11. So minus 125 to get an assist to keep that going. I do like that quite a bit. And then on the Devils side, a lot of these numbers are juiced up, but I'm going to take a look at Dawson Mercer to get a point. He sneakily has 14 points in 13 games this season for the Devils. He is playing on that second line with Nico Hischier and Timo Meier, also on the top power play unit, which is key for him as well. He has a 4-game point streak. So for him to get a point, minus 115 here at DraftKings, around even money at FanDuel if you want to shop around for that one. Okay, let's now look next up at the Senators and Bruins here. Should be a good game. It is Korpisalo versus Allmark for the trade, the 2 goalies that were traded for each other in this one here. And started with the Bruins, just going to keep attacking that top line. Going to keep attacking Morgan Geekie to get a point around minus 145 for the season. He has 12 points in 15 games, had a point against the Islanders there on Tuesday night after seeing his 6-game point streak come to an end. So he's still on that top line with David Pastrnak. Elias Lindholm is out though, so it's Kuznetsov on the top line center there. Hopefully I pronounced that somewhat correctly. And then second line center, Pavel Zacha has looked pretty good as well in Boston. I know there's some talks that he might be traded. He has 13 points in 15 games, 4-game point streak for Zacha, an assist in 3 of those games. So a point at minus 120, or you can get him to have an assist there at plus 135. Pick your poison there. And then quite a few Senators here I like to get a point as well. I'm going to start with Shane Pinto. He had a really hot start to the season, some spicy beans there. 12 points now in 13 games, points in 2 straight, 4 of his past 5 now. Has recorded a point in 9 of 13 games this season. So minus 105 for a point against the Bruins. Bruins have been playing a lot of high scoring games. I do like that. Once again, you scroll down to the over half a point, it's minus 105. The 1+ point is minus 130. So, they're pricing that up because those are same game parlayable. Other ones are just singles. So, make sure you look at the different prices there for that. Also going to look at Jake Sanderson to get a point for the Senators. He is there at minus 145. You can get him at minus 130 if you scroll down a bit, or minus 128 on FanDuel. Defenseman, 11 points in 13 games. Did not have a point in his last game, which ended a 4-game point streak. But I think that's a good chance of getting back on track here at not too high of a price there, minus 130 or so. And then Drake Batherson. I like Drake Batherson here, but I'm going to take him to get an assist rather than just a point. He does have 15 points on the year. 10 of them have been assists. He has a 5-game point streak, an assist in all of those games, multiple points in 4 of those 5 games and 5 of 10 games this season for Batherson. So maybe a Batherson 2 points at a plus 220 could be worth a look there as well. He's playing on that top line with Tim Stützle. And Nick Cousins is up there for some reason. And Tim Stützle, another one I like to get an assist. You see here for a point, he's minus 240. But for an assist, he's just, minus 105, even money at FanDuel. So, Stützle, he can definitely score the puck as well as pass it. 8 assists, 6 goals this season for 14 points in 13 games on a 5-game point streak. An assist in 4 straight before scoring in Montreal last time out there. And that's my it's 6 different player props there for Sens Bruins. Hopefully that's a high scoring game there. Okay, before I move along here, we are brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on football and everything else. Their prop builder is second to none. Their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. Easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. So head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And we're brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. At Novig, you're getting the best prices. Not going to have any of this juice you have at some of these legals here. Novig is available in 35 plus states. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. All right, moving here along to 7:30. We have the Capitals at the Penguins. Back-to-back for the Capitals after a big win last night at home, celebrating OV's 900th goal. But Pittsburgh has been dealt some injuries. Jari, Brazeau, Kahari going on the IR. Of course, Ricard Raquel already out for Pittsburgh. So tough to find guys to bet on there. But, they still have Crosby. They still have Malkin. And they still have Brian Rust. So top line there is Brian Rust, Sidney Crosby, and Ben Kindle. Ben Kindle had a great. He's been hot. He's been hot for the Penguins there. But I'm just taking Brian Rust to get an assist at even money. He's heavily favored to get a point at -205. 7 of his 11 points this season have been via the assist, and he has assists in 7 of 12 games, and he's been hot recently. A 3-game assist streak, and then 0 and 1. So he's what's that? 5 of his past 7 games, he's had an assist. 6 of those 7 games he's had a point. So Brian Rust still a good guy to target there on the top line with Sidney Crosby. And Malkin still getting it done. You got Tommy Novak on that line with him and Anthony Mantha now. He's up to 19 points in 14 games. 16 of them are assists. He's had an assist in all but 3 games this season, 3 straight, and 8 of his past 9 as well. So Malkin to get an assist there, -110. You can find close to even money elsewhere. Good luck there for those 2 Penguins. And it's tough to bet on a team on a back-to-back or get a good read on these players, but I'm taking Jacob Chychrun to have 3 shots on goal here at -110. Didn't quite get there last night. No, he did get there last night. 3 shots on goal on so his second straight game with at least 3 shots on goal. Had 9 attempts last night, 8 attempts the game before that. Has at least 3 shots in 9 of 13 games, including 4 shots in 7 of 13. So if you want to ladder that up to 4 shots, you can get them for +225. Definitely been shooting the puck a lot. His total shot attempts have consistently been 9, 8, 6, 6, 5, 8, 5, 13. He's firing the puck. It's just a matter of will he be able to hit the net in Pittsburgh? And I think he can do it 3 times there. So that's the only thing I'm really looking at for that one. I considered a sneaky shots on goal under for Ovechkin, under 3.5 at -175. He's yet to have 4 shots on goal in a game this season, but might be feeling it a bit after getting a little bit of a lucky goal for 900. But unders I feel like are one of the better ways that people overlook to bet some props. And mostly what I'm going through here are overs, but there are definitely spots where you can go in there and you can take a few unders, and you can root against everyone else rooting for shots or points or goals or what have you. Okay, going to 8 o'clock here. We have the Ducks and the Stars. Ducks coming off a huge win against the Panthers, 7-3. Cutter Gauthier hat trick. Leo Carlson staying hot. Just all these Ducks youngsters just really playing well this season. So got a bunch of them here on Thursday night as well. At the Stars, it should be Jake Ottinger back in net, I'm pretty sure. Let me try to confirm that right here. Yes, it is Ottinger back in net against Dostal. So it could be a goalie game. So might not be a great game to take all of these, but pick and choose your spots here. Starting with Leo Carlson, he has 5 goals, 13 assists for 18 points in 12 games this season. On a 8-game point streak, 7-game point streak there, has points in all but 2 of his games this season. minus 154 for a point on DraftKings, minus 142 on FanDuel. I think around minus 150 is a good look for him there. Nope, maybe take him to get an assist as well, plus 120. He is on a 6-game assist streak, has assists in 8 of 12 this season. And, he's not necessarily a shooter, so could see Carlson continuing to, rack up those assists while his goals being a bit secondary there. He is on the top line with Chris Kreider and Troy Terry. I also do like Troy Terry to get a point. I feel like people are kind of sleeping on him. He was once supposed to be one of these young guns like the Ducks have now. Now he's a veteran, 15 points in 12 games. 10 of them are assists there. So minus 150 or so to get a point. For an assist for Troy Terry is going to be plus 115, plus 130 if you just scroll down a bit here. Where's Troy Terry? Plus 130 for an assist if you go over half an assist on DraftKings there. Has an assist in 8 of 12 games this season, has a point in 9 of 12. So maybe take that rather than minus 150, get the plus 130 for the assist and bite the bullet if he scores a goal with no assist. It happens sometimes, but sometimes you gotta play the prices there. Also do like Troy Terry over 2.5 shots on goal. He's done that in 3 straight, 6 of his past 7 games, and in that one game he had 1 shot on 4 total shot attempts at Florida, who's typically a good team at limiting shots against. So like Troy Terry to keep firing the puck on that top line with Carlson and Chris Kreider there. And then the other player I am looking at for the Ducks, it has to be Cutter Gauthier. He's having a fantastic season, coming off a hat trick game, 10 goals, 6 assists, 16 points now in 12 games. How many games is that? 6 games, 7-game point streak, 13 points in that span, 3-game multi-point streak. So Cutter Gauthier to get 1 point is minus 140 or so if you shop around for it. 2 points plus 350. That could be worth a stab there on the second line with Mason McTavish and Beckett Seneke there, and also on the top power play unit for the Ducks. Plus 210 to score a goal at FanDuel as well. He scored in 2 straight, 4 total there, obviously, with the hat trick, and has scored in 7 of 12 this season. Like I said, might be a low-scoring game against Dallas with Ottinger back in net, but a lot of these prices are pretty enticing, and that's probably why. Probably because the odds makers think it might be more of a low-scoring game for Dallas. Dallas still without Rupe Hintz, still without Matt Duchene. So the one guy I'm looking at on that side is going to be Jason Robertson, top line winger, along with Rantanen. 4+ shots on goal at minus 115. He's done that in 3 straight, 4 of his past 5 games as well. And 9 of 13 games this season, he has at least 4 shots on goal. So been shooting the puck a lot now. With Hintz out, needing some offense there up top. So Jason Robertson to get shots on goal, I think, is a good look as well in this one. Okay, the other 8:00 game is my Philadelphia Flyers at the Nashville Predators. We saw this game exactly 1 week ago. Flyers got a 4-1 win in a very low event game, low event weekend of hockey for the Flyers last weekend, and then just went into Montreal, had 40+ shots on goal, looked like an absolute wagon there. So I'm hoping the Flyers can keep it going. I do have some orange tinted bets here. Travis Konechny to get a point around minus 150. He hasn't quite looked like himself this season. Still has 10 points in 13 games. He's still getting points. 2 assists last game. Now a 5-game point streak. Points in 7 of 8. Flyers have moved their lines around a bit, so he is playing now on the technically 3rd line with Noah Cates and Nikita Grabenkin, but he gets good power play minutes. He tends to try to make things happen. So like him to get a point there, and then also three shots on goal for Konechny, plus 115, plus 120. He's done that in 4 of his past 5 games, had 8 total shot attempts and 5 shots on goal last game, has 3 or more shots on goal in 7 of 13 games this season. That includes 3 against Nashville with an empty netter last week. And then Travis Konechny's line mate, Noah Cates. He's been, flying under the radar a bit for a while. He's never going to be a huge offensive performer, but 6 assists now, 9 points in 13 games, has an assist in 2 straight and 4 of his last 5. And you can get him to get an assist at plus 230. So, his power play unit is the one with Trevor Zegras. He's in front of the net, so he might get something there. That's not a bad look either. A power play point for any of these guys, plus 420 for Noah Cates. If you want to take a sprinkle on that, he's someone to look at, especially playing with Konechny now, and also Zegras at on the power play. Speaking of Zegras, you got to bet on Zegras right now while he's hot for the Flyers. I mean, he's going to cool off at some point. He probably won't be over a point per game player this year, but 15 points, 11 of them have been assists in 13 games, has points in 10 of 13 games, including an assist in all of those 10 games. So, I mean, you can take him to just to get a point. Trevor Zegras, 1 point, minus 165, or you can get assist at plus 120, plus 130 if you shop around there. So, I think that's what's going to happen. And Trevor Zegras, power play point, plus 250. Not quite as much as the Noah Cates plus 420. Maybe that's a better look because they're on the same unit, but plus 250 for Zegras to get a power play point. He had 2 power play assists last game. Has how many power play assists? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 power play assists, 2 power play goals in 13 games so far. So he's been a real boon to the Flyers power play in Philadelphia there. On the Predators side of things, this is a spot where I would consider fading some of these guys. Steven Stamkos, Jonathan Marchessault, Ryan O'Reilly. None of these guys really doing too much for the Predators this season. Preds only had 1 goal against the Flyers last week. So, like, Ryan O'Reilly under a point, plus 100, even money. He hasn't had a point in 5 straight games now. Why not? Why not? Like, Marchessault, minus 110. Stamkos, minus 142 is a bit much, but these guys just are not producing offensively as the Predators thought they would. Stamkos did get a point last game to end a huge drought for him, but games like this where Flyers have been playing low event hockey could limit the Predators pretty good. Would look at taking some unders for those guys. Okay. Before we let's go down to 10 p.m. I got 2 10 p.m. games. But first, we are brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is your home for pick'em entries where you can win up to 5,000 times your entry. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you use promo code HGP. And of course, check out Rhythm. Rhythm, you got college football, NFL. They're crushing it, and just added the NBA. Rhythm is also giving away weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type from any model you build, and you could win $1,000. Use promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm and use promo code SGPN25. All right, here at 10 o'clock now, I got the Lightning at the Golden Knights. Not too much for this one here, but I'm going to go right back to the Brandon Hagel well. I mentioned him on Tuesday's show for shots on goal. Ended up with 2 shots on goal. Couldn't get up to 3. Only had 2 shots on goal, 5 total shots attempts to end his 4-game streak of at least 3. Had 3 in 8 of 9 prior to that as well. So I think now going into Vegas, he can get there again. You can get that at plus money, plus 105, plus 110. He's hit that in 69% of his games this season. So that's pretty nice there. Also, taking him to score a goal. Score a goal, plus 220 at FanDuel. He scored in 4 straight before last game, playing on the top line with Point and Kucherov on the top power play unit as well. So I like that for him to stay hot there as long as he's on that top line. And then for the Golden Knights, Noah Hannafin has made his season debut. He's played 2 games, had 3 shots on goal on 7 shot attempts in each of them. So I'm taking him to get over 1.5 shots on goal. Just 2 shots on goal for -135. You can get over 2.5 at +220. Hannafin is going to be a guy that, they look to for some offense from the blue line for the Golden Knights. Had a decent first full season in Vegas last year. So I think he'll try to keep that up this year. So yeah, look for a Hannafin mini step ladder there, just over 1.5 and over 2.5 shots on goal. Down to the last game here. I got the Panthers and the Kings. Could be a boring game. Kings play boring hockey. Panthers try to play boring hockey at times. They have no problem, mucking it up, mucking and grinding, checking, tight checking, stuff like that. So not too much here, but Brad Marchand has just been a beast for the Panthers since they traded for him throughout the playoffs now. Data Faceoff finally has the Lundell, Luosterainen, Marchand line listed as the top line. Marchand, what's there, -155 to get a point on DraftKings, as low as -132 on FanDuel. Has 13 points in 12 games this season, 7 goals, 6 assists. So pretty evenly split. 5-game point streak, points in 10 of 12, including 10 of his last 11 there. So really like him to get a point. And then also on that line is our boy Eetu Luosterainen there. He's up to, just 5 points in 13 games, but all of them have come pretty recently. He's on a 3-game point streak, 5 points in his last 6 games now. So he's been heating up there with some increased time on ice on the top line with Marchand and Lundell. But gonna also look at Sam Reinhart to score a goal. He's capable of putting in 50. He has 6 in 13 games this year. Had a 4-game goal streak before not scoring on his 2 shots in Anaheim. But I think he might be able to get one here against the Kings if this game opens up a bit. +155 on DraftKings or +180 on FanDuel. And Corey Perry for the Kings has come in and had a relatively impressive start. 8 points in as many games. Got a point last game against the Jets on an assist. Kings are getting offense from everywhere. He's playing on the 4th line, it looks like. So +152 to get a point might be worth a stab there, as the Kings try to figure things out offensively. That's the it's 9-game slate of props there for Thursday night. I'm going to take a quick look now at the Friday night games. Yeah, just 4 games here on Friday night, including some teams that are playing tonight. So not a ton to look at here, but starting off at 7 p.m., got the New York Rangers at the Detroit Red Wings. Both teams are -110 at a pick 'em. Over 5.5, -135. Under 5.5 is at +114. This Rangers team just continues to be confusing. 6-1-1 on the road, 0-5-1 at home with 6 goals scored in those 6 games there. So tough to get a read on them. Red Wings coming home from a 5-game road trip out west. Played 7 of their last 8 games on the road. So really tough spot for them. Have had 2 days off since that road trip, but Rangers have been on the East Coast, came home to play Carolina, had 2 days off also, then going to Detroit here. So I like the Rangers here at in a pick 'em even money if you can still find that out there. I think they're the better team. I just really do. I think they'll come around at some point. I think they have to. 4th best expected goals, 4% in the league, while Detroit is where's Detroit at? Red Wings have the 13th best according to a natural stat trick. So give them the Rangers here in a pick 'em. They've been great on the road this season. 7 p.m. again, got the Minnesota Wild +102 at the New York Islanders -122. Over 5.5, -135. Under 5.5, +114. That total's going up to 6.5. So get the 5.5 while you can. Islanders games and overs. 10 out of 13 games this season have gone over. It's a back-to-back for Minnesota, who is starting. Looks like they're starting Gustafsson tonight in Carolina. Tough team to play against there. I think the Islanders get it done here at home. They're 4-2-1 at home and Wild have been very, very up and down this season. So, on the back-to-back, this line is only going to move in the Islanders' direction. I got a minus 122 here at DraftKings, probably playing them up to maybe minus 140-ish, but anything more than that, I think is too high for this Islanders team against the Wild. But I'm on the over 5.5 at minus 135, and the Islanders at minus 122. Down to 9 o'clock. Another kind of tough game to get a read on. Got the Chicago Blackhawks plus 124 at the Calgary Flames minus 148. Under 6.5 minus 135. Over 6.5 plus 114. Calgary came home from that long road trip. Big 5-1 win over Columbus. Got outshot 43-26 though in that one. So I'm not exactly sure how well they played. I didn't watch any of that. Expected goals share. Flames only had 39% of the expected goals against the Blue Jackets. Scoring chances were relatively even, 21-18, 10-7 high danger, but yeah, shots on goal, 27-20. Total shot attempts, 58-35. And even when adjusted for scoring venue, you have 59% expected goals for Columbus. So maybe a blip on the radar for the Flames. So if anything, I'm just going with the Blackhawks. Went into Vancouver, got a 5-2 win to break their 3-game losing streak. Plus 124 isn't nearly high enough. There is a plus 130 out there. I'm going to wait and see what happens with goalies for this game, see if this line moves at all. But I think if anything, I would take the Blackhawks here. I just think they're still a pesky dog team. Especially, it says Devin Cooley is probable for the Flames tomorrow, which would not inspire much confidence. Do the Flames play Saturday? They must. If no, does not look like they play Saturday. So I'm not sure why Cooley would start there, but that is what Goalie Post has. Oh, also Dave Rittich is starting tomorrow for the Islanders, so even more reason to like the over in that game. Down to the final game at 10 o'clock, Jets minus 198 at the Sharks, plus 164. Under 6.5, minus 122. Over 6.5 at plus 102 here. Once again, these Sharks just keep getting disrespected. Line moved quickly on this one. I got the Sharks at plus 180. Now they're down to plus 165. I would still probably take that. Like I've said, the Jets, they're going to fade at some point. Lost 3-0 against the Kings. Their underlying metrics are still one of the worst in the league at 42.1%, which is the worst. Sharks are second worst here on Money Puck, but I just think the Sharks at home as big dogs. I think that's the fun bet. It's probably, it probably is a smart bet too, unless these odds come down too far. I think the Sharks can definitely make this a game against Winnipeg, who do they play on Saturday? Because that could be interesting there, because they're out west there on the California road trip. They do not play on Saturday, so not a back-to-back for either of these teams, I don't think, unless the Sharks play. Sharks play Saturday against the Panthers, so that's going to be a tough one. And then tomorrow, no goalie confirmed yet, but hopefully it's a scare off and not Nedeljkovic, because Nedeljkovic will scare you off, unlike you scare off there. Yeah, so that's all I have for tomorrow. Sharks at a price not available anymore, plus 180. Islanders game over. Islanders minus 122, and Rangers minus 102. Minus 110 is fine as well. Okay, I think that's gonna about do it here for me. We should be back on Friday, probably around 5 or 6 Eastern time. Hopefully Joel is nice and recovered by then to go over what I'm hoping is a big slate on Saturday. Saturday we have 13 games, so yeah, plenty of hockey action there. A few day games, few late games, so that should be a good slate there to go over. Gonna try to keep doing some of these player props streams, ideally around 2 o'clock, maybe a bit earlier Eastern time if I can swing it, but gotta get the props out, get some research, and bring them to you guys, and hopefully give you guys a few hours to act on that, and hopefully make some money on it. So yeah, make sure you subscribe to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Leave a 5-star rating and review at those places, and of course subscribe on YouTube as well. Like the videos, comment, let us know us know how much you love us. So, yeah, follow us on Twitter at HockeySGPN. Get in the Discord, sg.pn/Discord. And I'm Ryan Gilbert. You can follow me on Twitter at rgilbertsop. See ya.